Hey, viewers, or should I say hello, bookfluencers. Welcome to the live stream. This is the first Writer Wednesday um, live of the summer series. So we're about to get into it. If you see me looking to the left, it's because I have Instagram to the left. I am streaming on Twitter as well as Facebook Live, as well as IG. So multiple streaming happening today, and I am trying to figure out the technology behind things. So if you can show me a little bit of grace, that would be great. But so we have IG, we have Twitter, we have what else are we on? Facebook, YouTube. I don't think it's working out, but that's cool. Hello, hello, you guys coming in. So what we're talking about today is bookfluence. You've been seeing this on my page recently. Bookfluence, bookfluence, bookfluence. What is it? What is it and why did I name my book that? Well, before I get into that, let me introduce myself first because I want to make sure that if we have new viewers, you know who I am, you know who's approaching you right now. My name is Nailah Harvey, hence the name of my business, N.HARV, and I am a 10-time published author, a book editor, and book coach. But more importantly, my mission, my overall mission, is to help writers bring their ideas to life. Okay. And I do that, of course, by book writing, I mean, by book coaching and by book editing. But in this season of life, I am helping writers bring ideas to life by way of leadership, if you will. That is new for me. So it's something that I am really kind of like easing my way into that type of field, but I really, really do love it. Leadership is a big responsibility, but I want to start speaking to leaders because I feel like you may be a leader and you don't even know it. And for those who are leaders and do know it, there is a way to leverage your leadership, and it is by way of a book. And I am really passionate about that. So that is why there's been a shift in messaging and a shift in just business focus these past few months. So that is me. And we are going to talk about uh, bookfluence. So if you don't know, on July the 4th, so I'll be releasing my new book titled, drum roll please, of course, you know the title, Book-fluence, How to Write a Book to Position Yourself as a Leader in Your Industry. How to Write a Book to Position Yourself as a Leader in Your Industry. Now, the book title is very sort of like on the nose, and I did that on purpose because I want to make sure that I am reaching my target audience. The book itself will not be long, but it will definitely be very packed with information, very clear, and very to the point. Because as leaders, in my study of studying leaders, as leaders, we don't have much time. So we really make the time to do certain things, and making the time to read a book is something that is very intentional. So I want to make sure I keep that in mind. And I did keep that in mind when writing this book. So the steps that I have taken to write this book is what I'm also going to teach in the book. Let's give a little backstory before we get into what it is. So my coaching program is called Book to Influence. In the beginning of the video, I said that I am a book coach, and that's what the name of my book coaching program is, Book to Influence. And I am basically reaching the same target audience that I am in my coaching program, um, in my book. So they have the similar target audiences. Sorry, forgive me if I didn't say that correctly, but my book coaching program and my book have similar target audiences. And that target audience, or the bulk of that audience, is leaders. That audience consists of leaders, industry leaders. So those who have been in the space, in their particular space, in their field, at their job, or as a business owner in your industry for at least 5 years, but not really focusing on the time, but just for time purposes, for at least 5 years, but more so, you've been in your industry long enough to lead people to get the same solution that you have gotten over time. You've been in your industry enough to be very knowledgeable about it, very knowledgeable about the ins and outs of what makes your position successful. You're very knowledgeable about how to help someone else, and you know how to help people get to a desired destination. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. So that is the audience that I am seeking and speaking to in my coaching program and the book. So the coaching program, Book to Influence, is like having a book or writing a book that is going to lead to influence. I said, hey, how can I have a product or a tool to help people who are not ready to invest in the program, right? You want to have a lower level product, something that people can really read or really get a taste for you and your teaching method, your teaching style without making the higher investment. Because my program is sort of a premium investment, it's a higher price point. So I said, what about those who are not ready to invest yet, but they want to sort of like get a taste of how I present information? Well, if I can coach, surely I know how to teach. After all, I didn't say this, but I am an educator, or at least a former educator. I've taught in America and overseas in South Korea. So surely I know how to teach. And the best way, or one way, I should say, one way to teach people or let people know that you can teach is to write a book. That is sort of like packaging or organizing your expertise, excuse me, into written form. So with that, I was thinking of book titles. And I was like, okay, the coaching program. Hey Maggie, the coaching program is Book to Influence. And I didn't want to have a long book name. So I was going back and forth, Book to Influence. I wanted to have something that was very streamlined. So I wanted my book to be very in alignment with the coaching program. And that meant to me was to have the same name. And I talked to my brother who was like, hey, what if we merge the two? Of course, your program is Book to Influence. But people who are looking for book titles, or maybe they're searching Amazon, they're looking for a new book, or maybe they come across you and they see that you have this product. They may not really know what Book to Influence is, or maybe it's just too long. So how about we merge the two? How about we merge the word book and the word influence? And then my brother, came up with Book-fluence. And I love it. I think it's the perfect book name, Book-fluence. And it's still in alignment with my coaching program and with my audience. So Book-fluence, what is it? Well, technically it is it is the merging of two words, book and influence. The idea behind it is to have or to write a book that is influential. The idea behind it is to become a book influencer. So book fluence is the idea that you are not only just writing a book, but you are writing a book that will have the capacity and effect on the behavior or character of someone else. Why? Because that's the definition of influence. So you're not just writing a book that is going to tell your story, which there's nothing wrong with that. You're not just writing a book that's going to talk about a certain topic without having like a call to action or without really targeting a specific audience. You are intentionally, excuse me, going to write a book that will have an effect on the behavior or character of someone else. You are intentionally writing a book that is going to have influence. That is the purpose of Book-fluence. We got that? So it's not just a book, it is a book that has influence. It is intended to have an effect on the character or behavior of someone else. Who is the book for? Who is Book-fluence for? The audience consists of, again, going back to what I said before, industry leaders, those who have been working in their field for years. And you're at the point where you're ready to leverage your leadership. That's number one. If I had points, bullet points, that would be number one. Why? Why did I write Book-fluence? Well, I wrote it for those leaders who are looking to leverage their leadership. Yeah, let's go that way. Why I wrote it or why the name came about. Well, Book-fluence came about because I want to help those who are ready to leverage their leadership. And it is my belief, Nailah, it is my belief that writing is a form of leadership. And one of the best ways to show your leadership is to not only write, but to write an information based book, especially if you are a business owner and you're looking for maybe another income stream, especially if you are a speaker and you're looking for a product to have that goes along with your speech. You're looking for something else to leverage. Hint, hint, you're leveraging your leadership. A book is great also if you are an educator. You're already teaching something over and over and over, right? But you're looking for something to give your students so they can have like a takeaway. They can have that information in written form to go back and refer to it. There's so many benefits of of a book. But when we think about a nonfiction, information-based book, an influential book, the 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 benefits they just become limitless, right? Increase your influence, build your credibility, or boost your credibility rather. And I would say build your brand. These are the benefits of a bookfluencer. And this is why I'm heavily focusing on bookfluence. So that being said, I'll stop here. I won't get into it too heavy. Every Wednesday, we're going to go into new topics centered around bookfluence, which is the name of my new book. And we're going to really dig deep into just positioning yourself as a leader in your industry. What does that look like? Yes, until then, continue to leverage your leadership by way of a book. And if you don't know how, then I invite you to pre-order my new book, which is coming out July the 4th, which is pre-order now, Book-fluence, and you can pre-order at the website, my website, N.HARV.com. That's N as in Nailah, N-HARV as in Victor.com/bookfluence. Again,